Welcome back. You're watching Morning Live. Now, Transport MMC in the city of Johannesburg, Kunene, has welcomed the placement of Pio-Trans. This is a company which operates the Rea Vaya's bus with its headquarters in Meadowlands, Soweto, under business rescue. Pio-Trans' financial woes have been a concern for some time now, of course, causing a headache for consumers depending on the Rea Vaya. The Rea Vaya bus rapid transit, which was approved by the City of Johannesburg Council in 2006 and started operating in 2009, was meant to be the government's solution for a safe, efficient and affordable means of public transport. It was intended as a solution for commuters who sought an alternative transport. Now, the project has since been riddled with inefficiencies, including its rollout phased plan as well as operating costs. City of Johannesburg Transport MMC, Kunene, joins us now in studio. MMC, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me, and good morning to your viewers.
So first things first, is Pio-Trans bankrupt?
No, Pio-Trans is not necessarily bankrupt. Pio-Trans has got cash flow problems because it does not have enough buses on the road, and the money that it makes from the buses that it has goes to the creditors. Because it has got a lot of creditors, including SARS. So for it to be able to survive, it needs to buy more buses. When I came in February, I was briefed about Pio-Trans as a company, private company that is operating Rea Vaya on behalf of the city through the empowerment deal. However, that deal then expired after 12 years in February, and it was then extended for 2 years. But when I interacted with Pio-Trans the first time, it was due to the strike that happened where drivers were not paid because Pio-Trans was not paid by the city. And I intervened, and subsequent to that, the shareholders asked to meet with me, some of them, and they requested me to assist. And my understanding from those meetings, especially after meeting all the shareholders, was that the way this deal was structured from the beginning, it set up the shareholders for failure. You must remember that these are taxi owners who gave away their taxis and who were used to cashing every day from the taxi drivers, whatever that has been made on that day. Now you are putting them into a corporate model, and you are then saying some of them can actually sit in the boards. But there is no proper mentorship and training, and then people have to be employed to come in. Now, so over the years, you then find that there's been maladministration, there's been theft, there's been fraud, CEOs came in, CEOs, financial managers, board members, people just came in. And when they realized that the shareholders were not really informed about how things should happen, they just took whatever that they could take and walked away. So my view is that the business rescue route is the best for the shareholders.
Yeah, and I want us to backtrack a bit because now the numbers are really staggering, because I think in the 2021-2022 financial year, over 100 million was lost. And it was also widely reported that, there was a lot of maladministration, as you've pointed out, if not fraud, at Pio-Trans. Did you at any point get wind of these reports, and what did you do about it?
All right. When I met with the shareholders, after they briefed me, and the previous board briefed me about the challenges, the first thing I said to them was, I will help, but they needed to set up a board that is made up of independent directors, because some of the shareholders were directors. And I said to them, as shareholders, take a step back, allow independent board of directors to just run this company for you, to begin to understand what is the problem with this body called PioTrans. So the shareholders then resolved that the MMC's office must assist with identifying, headhunting these board members that will then form part of this independent board of directors team, of which we did. And during that period when they were able to uncover the rot that was there. So they came in like a doctor. Here is a patient that is sick. But whilst they were there, they then found that there were deeper diseases in this body, Pio-Trans. And the board was then intending to apply for PioTrans to be under business rescue, but there were CIPC issues. However, coincidentally, some of the creditors then applied to the court that PioTrans be put under business rescue, which was a good move. Now, the business rescue practitioner comes in as a surgeon who is now going to open up this body and be able to identify how far the cancer is, how far the cancer has destroyed, but also identify what was the cause of the cancer. So that when he closes this body, he has cut off the cancer, but he has also given medication on how this body must be healthy and operate. So these interventions came because of what I committed to the shareholders, that I'm going to assist them. My point is one, the shareholders must make money. These 309 families have given away their sources of income, their taxis. Some of the owners of those taxis have died, have been shot. Their children are now beneficiaries of this particular empowerment deal. But over the years, heartless people, evil people, came in and stole from 309 families, which is what has gotten PioTrans to where we are now. You are quite right. 2020, 2021 financial year, over 50 million could not be accounted for. 2021, 2022, over 100 million could not be accounted for. Buses were being fixed with pirate parts. That is why the buses kept breaking down. So people were just going to PioTrans to rip it off, not even being mindful of the fact that there are old people. You must see the meetings that I had. Old people come in there with sticks who could hardly walk to come and listen to me and to come and tell me their problems. So what has been done to these families is evil, my brother. And I think it is the duty of the city to correct that and to help these families and make sure that PioTrans is back on its feet. And the only way to get back on its feet is this business rescue model. Because the business rescue practitioner now, remember, every money, every little cent that PioTrans makes has to keep off the fires of the creditors. Now that they're under business rescue, the business rescue practitioner will ring fence the creditors. Wait a minute, let me cure this body. And now the profit will be used to now buy buses, repair those that can be repaired. And once there's more buses on the road, PioTrans will be able to generate more money. At the end of the day, the shareholders must begin to make money that they deserve.
And I like that you just narrowed it back there, because it's not just about numbers as well. You know, it's about bread and butter issues. It's about families that have been affected. Families who've also given their minibus taxis into this as well, who have been done wrong. Surely something has got to give. Are we likely to see heads roll?
Definitely. I was happy by the commitment of Mr. Tayop, the business rescue practitioner, when he said that heads must roll, and once the court has found those who are guilty of criminality, monies must be recovered so that these monies can then be channeled to the shareholders. Let me just give you just a simple picture. Some people there were being paid 3 times the market rate of the job that they are doing. Some people have been employed without qualifications. Some people were earning double salaries. Some people were employed in positions that were unnecessary. So the money that was supposed to be going to the shareholders was paying people for doing literally nothing. was paying people for just coming there and adding the numbers. Number two, companies were giving invoices to PioTrans without any proof of work being done. And we are talking about millions of rents here. And this is the information that was presented to me as it was being uncovered. Now, the business rescue practitioner will be able to go into the details of what is happening so that whether it's the financial managers, whether it is the CEOs or the CFOs or former board members, people must be held accountable and monies must be recovered for the benefit of these families that I have seen. You know, when old people cry, my brother, it speaks to your heart. These people are saying, we have given away our taxis. We can't go back to the taxi associations. They don't want us because we have been part of this model. But this thing that we thought is going to be a future for our children has destroyed us. So we have, as the city, and I was briefing the mayor yesterday, and I said, Mr. Mayor, we have to help these families. It is morally correct for us to help these families, to make sure that PioTrans is on its feet. We are talking to the province now. We have started this discussion. My executive director has started this discussion, Dorothy Mapuza, to say PioTrans is a private company. Province must now give the grant like it gives to all private companies, Patco and all the other private bus companies. There's a grant that they give them. They need to give PioTrans that grant because now it is operating as a private company, operating Rea Vaya on behalf of the city. Would this
be a sustainable and viable option, though, looking at how the coffers are already exhausted as it is?
But they're giving private companies a grant. So they have to give PioTrans a grant, and PioTrans can use that money to buy more buses. By the time the business rescue practitioner is done, systems will be in place, ethical people will be interviewed and employed who would then understand that this is how things must move. Ethical auditors will then also be sourced so that they can continuously audit. Internal auditors must be employed so that the shareholders are abreast of what is going on, but they get their monies every month, they get their dividends at the end of the year. So PioTrans is a viable company. It is just that evil people came in and they just ate it like a cancer.
MMC, there must have been systems that were put in place to ensure the efficient running of Rea Vaya, both by the Department of Transport as well as the city of Joburg. Do you think these measures were, first of all, sustainable or enough? Were they watertight to ensure that nothing seeps through the cracks? And how did we get to this point? And what will it take for us to fix it all?
Two experts were brought in, I think, in 2014 and 2016, who then did an analysis. They made recommendations to the board. And one of the recommendations, by the way, was what I recommended before I could even see their reports, which was that the shareholders must get out of the boards. The previous boards did not implement the recommendations. An audit firm was then also sourced to come in and do an audit. It came up with some audit findings. And the boards and the officials, the senior officials, executives, did not implement those recommendations. And that was the problem. The city has done some interventions to try and assist, but I think it needed some political will.
All right.
And it needed some political commitment. That is why when I came in and with my political will after talking to the shareholders, and then we zoomed in as the Department of Transport and said, how do we then assist?
Okay, we need to wrap this up. Just a quick one. South Africans want to know, will bus services be interrupted by this?
No operations will be interrupted. As we can see now, we are busy renovating the bus stations. We have started that process a few months ago. We are putting We are putting cameras in the buses. We have started with Metro Bus. We are putting free Wi-Fi in the buses. So we are geared into making public transportation in the city of Johannesburg smart mobility. So no interruption of buses, no interruption of operations. The business rescue practitioner will administer the company, but also he will do a forensic investigation. So everything goes on as normal.
Thank you so much. And of course, that was the City of Johannesburg Transport MMC, Kunene. He was responding to the discouraging news about the financial state of the Rea Vaya operating company, PioTrans, which has been placed on business rescue. We leave it here for today's installment of Morning Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a spectacular morning going forward.